Today is part 4. Possibly we should do justice. Aim for the top. We should be able to finish this class today. Aim for the top 10%. So today is part 4, I guess so. And then not just today is 27, Abi. 27, Abi. Come on, the year don't run out. That is fine. So very soon I will shout Happy New Month again. That is very serious. So and Happy New Year very soon. How to become the person in the picture? 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 Okay, so you have to create a mental picture. I say you will never feature in a future you did not picture. Mr. George, have to reduce your volume. Thank you, sir. So the outlines we have about 8 outlines. So let's see how far we can go. So if you're joining us for the first time today, don't worry, we'll do some level of revision. Because once you make up your mind to become an entrepreneur, an investor, so the best thing for yourself is to create an environment or belong to an environment that they add value to themselves, they change the way of thinking, and then, Mr. George, are you with us? Build reputation. Okay, and then number 6, 8, the last one, build relationships. So relationships is more important, okay, because they can make you and they can also be. So we started this class by telling us that understanding your industry, including your histories and victories, the understanding of your industry will help you to desire future. So the decision today is going to be towards whatever you are looking at. So Abraham makes such a decision. Dangote, Bill Gates, they look at the future. Thomas Edison, White brothers look at the future and anticipate a positive, favorable outcome. So they begin to do today and deny themselves. They practice what is called delayed gratification. Jeff Bezos and all of them. So, and looking at it, if you look into the future, there are a few questions you need to ask yourself. Into production of cement, production of chairs, tables, and where did this industry begin? When did it start? And why does it exist? Is it meeting a need? And who does it serve? Who is benefiting from it? What is the standard and the model of excellence? What are the possibilities that I'm going to become successful? What is it probable? Will I develop the skills and the competence? Because not what is the risk involved? The risk involved is not for you to quit, but for you to know the revenue generated, recognition, and rewards. So they leave the remaining 90% of the available reward and revenue to 10%. They leave the 90% to enjoy 10% of the reward revenue because it happens in every industry, music industry, football, sales professions, every industry, telecommunication. So the top 10% always enjoy 90% of the resources available. And you cannot actually make change when it is. So we have the gate and the palace. These are the two most important strongholds in cities and in palace and in kingdoms, in businesses. So we have the gate and the palace. Gate give you access, palace give you control. So it's not about entering the industry, having access. You need to be in control, you need to be in power. Because if you struggle to go into any industry, you have to also struggle, push yourself to be at the top 10% that will enjoy the 90%, where the power is, not just where the power is, where you can take control, where the glory is, where the gold is. So palace is where you need to aim at. So the top 10% of the implementers will always be at the management level. The top 10% of the management level will always be at the communicators level, and the top 10% of the communicators level will be at the imaginators level. So aim for the top 10% in every career path you embark on. It will help you a lot because preparation, becoming the person in the picture, that's what we started yesterday. It's sort of becoming the person in the preparation is that you must prepare. Why do you have to prepare? Because preparation is the key to success and also the ultimate demonstration and act of faith. So if you actually prepare yourself for today for who you believe you will become tomorrow by learning the skills that will help you become a future in a leadership position or management position tomorrow. So if you believe you have a future of leadership and management, a role in your marriage, in business, in government, then you need to actually learn these skills that will help you to become a successful leader tomorrow. And you have to learn how to manage yourself, your emotions, solve problems for yourself, solve problems for other people. So we went to strategic personal development. Becoming the person in the picture will help you to get mentors knowledge that will identify your skills, deficiencies, build libraries around the subject you need to improve, and also self-managed learning. So yesterday we talked about 4 future skills under becoming the person in the picture. We mentioned intrapersonal skill. Number 1 was intrapersonal skill, ability to communicate to yourself, work on yourself. Number 2, interpersonal skills, working with other people, relational skill. So we also discussed about business skills. Is it business commercial? Okay, also discuss technical skill. That's what we actually took a note yesterday. Technical skill. So we discussed all those ones yesterday. So we said that ability to communicate with yourself, control your emotions, coach yourself, talk to yourself, mental attitude about yourself, and so that you can be able to be in chapter today, which is learn the language. If you are with me, shall I? So the way I want us to put it is like this: learn the language of your level. Of your level. Is it a part of promotion that will put you in the top 10 position in your industry? So if you don't meet up those basic requirements, I already mentioned some of them already: interpersonal skill, intrapersonal skill, relationship skills, business skills, and technical skill. When they even give you the position, you will not be able to. So you need to meet up with that prerequisite part of the promotion that will put you in the top 10 position of your industry. So I want to show you something very interesting so you can learn from this. It will help you a lot. Daniel 1, 3 to 4. Daniel 1, 3 to 4. And he said something. He said, and the king spoke to Arphaxad, the master of his eunuch, and he should bring a certain of the children of Israel, and of the king, and the king's seed, and the princess, children in whom was no blemish, and was well favored and skillful in all wisdom, cunning in knowledge, understanding science, and as such had ability to stand in front of kings, and to whom might is given, and learning and tongues of the Chandels. So what he's trying to say here is that is a prerequisite that these children must be blemish, they must be very skillful in wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understand science. This was the prerequisite for them to be in the king's palace. So that means every industry have a prerequisite requirement. If you want to study law, you must write JAM prerequisite requirement. I call it industry competent compatibility test. The king wants to select children that meet those prerequisites in their career to be among the children of the captive. So I would like everyone to write this down on your note. Very, very important. For every promotion, you must learn the culture and the language. For every promotion, you must learn the culture and the language. For every promotion, you must learn the culture and the language. Why I'm telling you this today is because I've seen so many of us that started something, but they get stuck. More than 50% of businesses fail in their first year of starting, and in fact, their first 10 years, over 70% of business will collapse. Why? Because of these two things. They refuse to learn the culture and language. For every promotion, you must learn the culture and language of that industry for that level. Full stop. So every level requires a new culture and a new language. So when you are an implementer, because okay, we're talking about how to be at the top. So we drew something like this and we call it 4 levels of value creation. We said at the top, number 1 here is called the imaginators. We already done this already, so we don't have to go to details about it. Number 2 is called the communicators. If you miss our classes, check the previous videos, you will see them. Number 3 is called the managers. And number 4 is called the implementers. Implementers are the manpowers. They are the manpower in every industry. They are the one that do the job. They are the one that are the laborers. And what again? I missed one. No. Operators. Thank you so much. Operators. They're the one that will operate. So in this level, what is required from you is that you document your processes. Because if a good implementer will become a good manager, managers manage the implementers, and then communicators communicate to the managers, and imaginators, they imagine, they communicate. So a good implementer will become a good manager. So at that level, the language you need to speak is documentation. Tell documentation. That is when you are working in the business. It's not a bad place to start, but it's a very bad place to stay, or it's a very bad place to remain. So always aim for the top. So and when you move to a manager level, the language you speak here is unification. Tell unification. You have to unify people, coordinate people. Language say we, because you are the one that will be responsible for anything that goes wrong. So at every level, there's a new language. So you must learn language of your career when at every level you find yourself. So because when you're an implementer, you will not speak the same language when you're a communicator. So you need to understand that the higher the level of conversation you participate will determine the quality of the life you're going to have in the future. So even though you're an implementer, you can imagine and create, because that is where you aim to be. and you start taking responsibilities now that you are now an implementer, because that will qualify you to actually be at that level of the imaginators, the innovators, the directors, that is the innovators, the directors. So you have to first and foremost direct. You have to assume those positions of responsibility. Write this down as we round up this, learn the language so that we can go to see how we can follow leaders. Write it, very important. It is very important that you decide to be intentional. It's very important that you decide to be intentional. It's very important that you decide to be intentional, to learn the language and the culture of every level. It's very important that you decide to be intentional, to learn the language and the culture of every level. Someone says you go to a room, behave like the room. He's not lying. It's very important that you decide to be intentional, to learn the culture and language of every level you find yourself. Learn the language, because you can't be speaking something else when other people you are leading or working with is not understanding. It's not going. It's frustration. No, if someone cannot get along with you, cannot go along with you. So you must get along with you to go along with you. So it's a book we read called How to Win and Influence Friends. It will help you to understand that you don't actually people have different perspective, and you must respect people's opinion. That's why you don't get angry when somebody says bad thing, because it's his own opinion. I keep saying every time, people's opinion don't pay our bills. So it's very important that you decide to be intentional, to learn the culture and the language of every industry at every level you find yourself at any point in life. So let me go to the next course outline. I want us to finish this course today, but tomorrow I have something very important for us that you can't afford to miss. Tomorrow we're talking about some belief system that is blocking our prosperity. There are some things that we picked up from family, from environment, from friends and family that is not empowering you. So you need to let go. Not be everything represent the whole and for hand. Sometimes letting go is a blessing. So we want to discuss some of those beliefs about money, about wealth, what they told you that is not actually true. I'm going to prove to you that it's not what you think it is, that it is, and this is the right thing. And you got to think about it logically, also reason with me. You can see that once you change your belief system, everything will change, because you attract what predominantly occupy your mind. You cannot be thinking small and have a big life to open. You cannot be thinking negative and have a positive life. You are thinking negative, always have negative things attracted to you. So it's about beliefs, it's about mindset. Success is about 80% beliefs and just 20% action. If you take action without believing, it's just wasted and frustration. That's what you're going to see. So let's go to this one now. Follow the leaders. In fact, I'll put it like this. Follow the leaders and have a role model. Follow the leaders or have a role model. Follow the leaders and have a role model. Who are you modeling? Who are you observing? It's very important you observe someone. We want to be at the top. Please look for men at the top. I always talk a story about when I came into this industry at first. So, and my first event in Lagos, I saw men. I'm a millionaire, I'm a success, I'm healthy, I'm strong, no weapon from against me shall prosper. It's good to always say positive things about yourself. Never you say negative things about yourself. Because whatever you think is created, but you are creating with your mind. But when you say it, the universe picks it up. And if you say, I want to make 1 million naira in 1 month, you have 1 million naira challenge. Because you have to overcome that challenge to get the prize. This is how life works. Someone make 10 million naira in 1 month, you have 10 million naira problem. 100 million naira, 1 billion naira. You also have that challenge, because the challenge is going to test you whether you are going to qualify to be able to handle it. Most people, when they face that challenge, they quit. Please don't quit. Temporary defeat is not a permanent failure. Tell your neighbor, temporary defeat. Each of the sheet has dots on it. He said, please describe what you see on the sheet. And it didn't take quite long. All the students were in the sheet. And every student was focusing on describing the position of the dot and everything about the dot. They read about the dot. And he said, this is how life is. Nobody wrote about the white part, because you're focusing on the problem in your life. That small problem in your life, that small challenge, that small headache, that small money problem, challenges is what you're focusing on. No need that it's just a small. There are a bigger part of your life that is abundance, but you are not looking at that abundance. You are focusing on that one missing thing. That's why it denies you from your happiness, stab you of your joy, cause bitterness. In fact, the thing is not good. It makes you feel unfulfilled as a person. Stop looking at the problems. Focus on the opportunities around.